Good to see you again, and I hope you have enjoyed my video so far. If you are first timers who are really watching my video for the first time, welcome, welcome. This is where I really share about my renovation journey and as well as many of my lessons learned, my research notes, and my channel is not just for renovation, but it's also a place to really talk about other things, right? Like my hobbies, your careers and stuff like that. So make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of my new videos. So if you have any questions or any kind of topics that you want to ask me about, you want to talk about, right? You can always put in the comments below. Okay, today I want to talk about kitchens, right? Open concept kitchens versus the closed concept kitchen. So for the recent many years, right, open concept kitchen has been gaining a lot of popularity, right? So much so that HDB has even given you the option to choose if you want an open kitchen in your new BTO, right? But how practical it is for an open kitchen, or are there other considerations, right? So I did quite a bit of research for my own new home, right, which I'm getting in December, and I want to share these notes with you. Right, so the first thing to consider is really space, right? An open kitchen definitely open up the space a lot in your home, right? It makes your home look a lot more spacious, right? You have that openness, that sense of openness, right? So this works especially well for smaller homes, right? Because the living rooms, right, these days, especially for 4-room, 3-room BTO, they can be really very small and very squeezy, right? So it's claustrophobic kind of stuff. So having an open kitchen will almost double up your space, right? You can then, in fact, design a smaller kitchen, right? Because it gives you the flexibility, right? So it doesn't have to be big to be really functional, right? A small area just to do your cooking is actually good enough. Then you can actually, design more space for your living room, right? You can extend your living room quite a bit, right? So you open up the space. Right, so if you want to go for spaciousness in your home, right, open kitchen is the way to go. Also, open kitchen allows better social interactions, right? Because open space, right? So being in the same living space, you can easily do your dishes while you talk to other members, right? At the same time, right? You can also watch your kids when they play in the living room, right? Keep them safe. You can do your housework and stuff like that. You can also talk to your friends at the dining table when you're hosting them. So it's very cohesive, right? Having this open kitchen. But if you are someone who likes privacy, who enjoys privacy during cooking, you don't want to be disturbed, then open kitchen do not work that well, right? I have my friends who really forbid anyone when she is cooking, right? She will really chase you out of the kitchen. So, open kitchen means also means kitchen noise lah. That is going to affect your whole living area, right? All your cooking noise, your baking, your mixing of stuff, and your partner, your family members are watching TV, right? Then it's going to be very noisy and not so enjoyable in the long run, right? So that's another consideration. So the next thing is really the cleaning and maintenance, right? Open kitchen also means all the fumes, right, and all the smells are going into the living area as well. So if you are going to do heavy cooking like the Zi Cha store, right, then your whole living area is going to be very smoky and full of fumes. So if you are cooking sambal chili or belacan chili kind of stuff, right, you are going to make everyone in the living room cough like mad. So heavy cooking, better don't do the open concept, right? Even you have a very good hood, the fume is going to be everywhere, right? And when it comes to cleaning, right, then open kitchens means higher maintenance in many ways, right? Because the fumes and the dirt, right, the oil, right, can actually collect over time, right? You will see sticky tabletops, or this open shelving, you have a layer of dust that is very sticky and hard to clean. So even in the living room, right, it means you need to wipe down a lot of times, right, with an open kitchen, right, because of all the fumes and stuff like that. So another thing is budget. So aircon for your living room, right? So if you are going to do open kitchen, so that means the openness, the spacious, right? Then you definitely will need more than just one aircon unit, right? One aircon unit may not be enough to cool the bigger space. So you will need higher BTU, or you need the more units to actually cool down the whole space. So more units, higher BTU means more cost in aircon, right, as well as the electricity cost, right? But at the same time, I think closed kitchen wise means a lot more carpentry work, right? So there will be like glass doors, pocket doors, sliding doors, and so these are also like additional costs for you in your renovation. So you have to consider this properly. So if you have a very tight renovation budget, right, then you have to really think about it, right? Is it better to pay more for the aircon and the utilities bill for the long run, right? Or go for the upfront one-time cost of a closed kitchen and pay more for the fittings and stuff. And lastly, of course, the design of your home. Because an kitchen, an open concept kitchen, it means that your design has to flow together with the design language in your living room as well, right? So it's like one whole single space now, and you have to be a lot more conscious about your overall design, how your colors, how your design actually flows through the entire space. Right, so yes, these are the considerations that you have to think about, right? Before you actually renovate your new home. Right, so actually, from my own personal observation, right, the concept of open and closed kitchen is somehow getting out of trend already, right? So it's not getting as popular it is. It is mostly because of the above many of these considerations, like the fumes and everything, the cost and everything, right? But also the lifestyle today a bit different as well, right? Having to work from home, right? Noisy open kitchen may not be a good idea after all. Right, so nowadays, instead of planning for like open or closed kitchens, right, homeowners go for like wet and dry kitchen, right? That kind of like space planning. So wet kitchen is where you do a lot of this heavy cooking and washing, right? It's a place where you can be sealed off, right, enclosed with a door or something. Right? Then there's a dry kitchen where you do some of this light cooking, your baking, your stuff, or your like food preparation and mixing of your things and stuff like that before you bring it to the wet kitchen. So instead of really choosing between like open and closed kitchens, by having a wet and dry kitchen, you have both open and closed kitchen at the same time. And due to space constraints nowadays in BTOs, right, you will notice that the dry kitchen is usually bigger than the wet kitchen, right? So it's a bigger dry, smaller wet kind of like setup. Right? And dry kitchen flow nicely in the same kind of like design of the living area. Right? So that's how most people will go for today. Right? So some designate their entire kitchen area to be really dry kitchen, right? But they transform the service yard, which is a very small area, right, into a wet kitchen. So for myself, I will be doing a bigger dry kitchen and a smaller wet kitchen, right? And really to maximize the space, my wet kitchen will flow into the service yard area. Right? So that means that I will be knocking down the service yard walls. I'll be like shifting the wet kitchen into that area. Right? So this is a setup I think is ideal for me. Right? My family cooks a lot on weekdays and heavy cooking, right? Immediately it means the open kitchen is really out. Right? But I still like the idea of having an open kitchen, which is like a pantry or for snacks and my tea and stuff like that, where I can host people, I can do my baking there, right? So my idea has designed a dry kitchen with a large island, right, that is really multi-purpose for my use, right? So this is so exciting, right? And I can't wait to see this in my future home. Right? So if you want to have a sneak peek, right? You want to have a sneak peek, I can actually share with you my 3D renderings of my new home. So drop a comment below if you are interested in the 3D drawings, and I am happy to make a video on that. Right, so make sure you subscribe because my key collection should be just around the corner, right? So it's getting into December, January period. That's when the keys will be ready. And once key collection is done, then the whole thing, the whole renovation journey will really kick off. And at that time, I want to bring you along. So make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of my new videos. Until next time, I will see you soon.